So with all types of cases out there in the market, when you're talking about clear, you're talking about rugged, you're talking about thin, one style case that I particularly like is going to be Aramid, the Kevlar fiber style cases. So there's a few different offerings out there. So I was like, you know what, T, let's just do a best Aramid fiber case video. So if you're like me and you just love that carbon fiber Aramid look on the back of your case, you can go out there and grab some of the best out there on the market, all right? So I got about, 6 cases or so here. I'm not really gonna rank them. I'm just gonna pull them off, show you what they have going on, and we can go ahead and rock out like that, all right? Let's go ahead and kick it off, and we gotta start off with the Pitaka MagEZ case. Now, this case right here didn't make my top 10 case video. Now, it's not because it's not a good case. It's just such stiff competition, and the protection that you get for this case, I mean, it's made for a niche market when we are talking about that. When it comes to Pitaka, I do think they are going to be the kings of this Aramid fiber style. So this is going to be the very thin, minimalistic style case right here. You're going to get that MagSafe on the back, and this is going to be their fusion weave pattern. They also have your normal black version if you want to keep it stealthy, you want to just keep it clean. They also have that version as well, as that's something that you want to check out. But this right here is going to be their Aramid fiber, but this is going to be their fusion weave, which they have a little bit of design on it. Now, let's go ahead and slap this on the phone itself. And if you're into that thin minimalist, all right, words to you on this Monday morning, if you're used to that thin style of protection, now this is what this case is going to offer you right here, all right? Your top is going to be exposed, your head is going to be out, and as I always say, your butt is going to be out at the bottom. You got those exposed butts when it comes to the bottom of that. And when it comes to the buttons, you're going to have the opening for your volume up and down, and you're going to have that opening for your power button. But what this case gives you, if you're a person who don't like using cases, but you like to use cases for a little scratch protection, to add a little bit of grip, add a little bit of material when you're talking about holding on to your case, then that's what this case offers when it comes to the Pitaka, all right? When we're talking about magnet strength, even for this case to be a thin case, it has very strong magnets because it can pick up this base right here. And if you can pick up this base, for those of you who are not familiar with the channel, that means you have strong magnets, and it can pick up this base just fine with a little bit of care and finesse. It will pick this base up. So on top of it being a very thin case, it also has strong magnets. It has a very nice fit, and once this case is popped on, you're going to have to get it off, which you got to pry from both sides and put it like that. But when this case is popped on, it's up there with confidence. It makes the phone feel very good. It keeps the phone very thin. It's one thing about with cases, man. Make sure you retain that thinness because these are some big cases and big phones, so we need to kind of keep stuff on the thin side. But if you're a person who likes this type of material and you want a thin case in this material, I don't think there's a better option out there than the Pitaka MagEZ case. Now, next up, staying on Pitaka, let's go ahead and talk about the Pitaka MagEZ Pro case. Now, this case right here, ooh, it kind of pains me. Not because this is a bad case. It's just because this case has took a major step back from the iPhone 13 Pro version, because this was a #1 case on my channel last year, all right? This year came to the 14 Pro Max with my top case video. This case didn't even make the list. Now, that's not because the case is a bad case. It's because of the things that they did going backwards. In other cases, manufacturers kind of excelled past them. Such an amazing case when it comes to this Pitaka Pro case. You're going to get the protection. You're going to get the magnets, soft felt lining on the inside, very rigid when we're talking about how flexible. This thing barely has any flex. Super rigid case. But two things that kind of is a letdown when you come talking about this case, and that's going to be MagSafe strength, all right? So let's go ahead and pop our phone in here. Last year, this case probably had the strongest MagSafe strength, hands down, without a doubt. And this year, they just nuked it a little bit, all right? They just nuked it a little bit to not even try to pick this bank up. And it annoys me a little bit. But I get it. I get the science behind it. It was a little bit too strong. Therefore, it was interfering with wireless charging. But honestly, I haven't had that problem with any other Aramid fiber case that has strong magnets. So I don't know what's going on in that regards. And another thing is the buttons, all right? Now, these buttons just have to be better because they are a little bit mushy. They are a little bit mushy. They do require a little bit of feedback to press them. And I told my feedback to them was make these some floating buttons, make these interchangeable, because that's the way that people are going nowadays. They're going to the floating style buttons because this style button can sometimes get a little bit tricky when we're talking about developing it. And I've seen the buttons tear a bunch of cases up, and that's exactly what it did with this particular case. But outside of that, this case really is a great case. I'm talking about the fit is probably one of the best fits of a case that you're going to get when it comes to any of these cases that I'm talking about today. This is probably going to be the one that fits the best. So it fits absolutely amazing. They're durable because I've ran this case for over a year. When it came to my 13 series, well, right at a year, because I always switch and get the newer ones. But this case just kept intact. But if you do drop this case, you really gotta be weird, because this material will show, it would chip very quickly, and it would kind of show what's going on when it comes to this case. So I had to put it on here because I know everybody was going to tell me, what about a Pitaka? What about a Pitaka? It's still a very good case. If you don't use MagSafe, look, you don't got to worry about the MagSafe magnets. But the buttons, in my opinion, is something that we all use and that we all interact with our phones. So the buttons, to me, I feel like could be a little bit better. But when we're talking about the fit, the finish, how thin it is, the design of this case, I absolutely love when it comes to Pitaka Pro. But I just would like to see this case become the champ that it previously was. Next up on the list is going to be a case that I feel like is one of the best Aramid fiber cases out there in the market, and we got to talk about the Benks Aramid fiber case. Now, this case right here is one that I ranked a little lower than I think I should have on my top 10 case video, because this is a really, really good case. All right, you're going to get that Aramid fiber texture on the back. You're going to get that raised little camera bezel right there. You're going to get very nice metallic buttons, very, very nice metallic buttons, soft touch on the inside, and you're going to get that magnet, those MagSafe magnets, which are also very strong, and you get a very tight fit of this case. This thing fits just about as good as that Pitaka case, if not a little. Well, it's just about the same. You still get a little pull when it comes to the buttons, but this is a tremendously perfect fitting case, if I can say that, man. Very nice fitting case. The fit of it's good. You get great buttons. I mean, listen to these. Just listen to those buttons, man. That's what I'm talking about when we're talking about good buttons on the case. That's how you do it when you come to good buttons. So the buttons feel absolutely amazing. Great fit. If it's one thing that I can say that I really don't like about this case, is it's a little bit slippery right here on the sides. I always like to see cases like this, give it some type of pattern on the sides. I mean, bring the Aramid fiber around, because sometimes this kind of give you a little bit of grip. So you can see it kind of carried around, if that will help in the long run. But the Benks, this case right here just does it. And when we are talking about MagSafe magnets, I mean, it will try to pick up this base. It doesn't pick it up, but it will try to pick it up. And in my opinion, that is as strong as the magnets as I need when it comes to a case. So I think that just does perfectly fine when it comes to that. Now, one characteristic on the majority of Aramid fiber cases, I'm not going to say all, because there's one case on this list that kind of fights against this, is going to be the debris. All right, when it comes to these, you're going to need to keep a little wet wipe or something on you so you can kind of wipe it down. But even at that, when you wipe it down with these cloths, the dirt kind of still remains up there, and it's kind of really hard to get it off. So that's going to be one characteristic. I'm not going to knock this case in particular. It really plagues just about all the cases that's on this list, except two cases. I think it doesn't really affect it that much, but we'll kind of get into that next. But the Benks Aramid fiber case, you get your accurate cutouts on the bottom, just very thin, slim, lightweight case with an extremely tight fit, very nice price point, and good magnets, makes this one of the best on the market. Now, next up is probably one that's going to be the most unique looking out of all of these, and we got to talk about the Phone Rebel Flex. All right, now this right here is going to be for my people still kind of catered towards my minimalist people who don't mind a little bit of their iPhone showing. That's what you're going to get when it comes to a case like that, because the Phone Rebel, they basically have your whole back, your whole sides out. Now, this is going to be very reminiscent, and let me go ahead and bring it over here because you guys know what's on the list. The Phone Rebel Gen 4 case, basically the exact same case, except you just have your sides out on this one right here. So let's go ahead and slap it on the phone. And like I said, always been such a unique case, but I love this case, and I have used this case on my phone, not for the 14 series, but from another series iPhone, and I love this case. I'm not sure what it is about it. So I know you're gonna be like, T, but why would I use a case that has the sides out? Don't worry, if you get this case right here, they come with little clear side protectors that you can stick right on the side of your stainless steel bezels, so you don't have to worry about these getting scratched up or anything like that. And I feel like that is the perfect thing, the perfect resolution to having your sides open, so that I can deal with it. I can deal with the sides being open. They're going to give me those clear strips. So that's what I love about it right here. Now, as remember I told you about an Aramid fiber case that doesn't really show that many scratches on the back of it? Phone Rebel has some type of technology. I'm not sure how they did it, but they have it to where you don't even get that many prints on the back. I have been handling this case. I've been handling this case right here, and the material that they use, I don't know what it is. They're easy to wipe off. I mean, just look at it. You can wipe it off, and you kind of can wipe it a little bit clean. But these reduce smudges better than all the cases, all the other cases that's on this list. And that's what I really love about it. So the Flex series just fits good. You're going to have that nice fit when you're talking about top and the bottom, but you're going to get very strong MagSafe magnets. I mean, it is picking up this base without any effort. So you're going to get very strong MagSafe magnets. The same quality material when you're talking about it. You're going to get that shock absorption, and it's going to be the same shock absorption that's in the corner of the Phone Rebel Gen 4, as you can see right here. So you're going to get that drop protection surprisingly, but if you were to drop it, it has to be on the even ground. But if you did drop it right on the sides, these corners are going to be elevated to just enough so you don't have to worry about it hitting it. And these elevated corners give you a good lay on the tail protection. I mean, look at that material when you are talking about the lay on the tail protection. I mean, you had to give that if you're giving this thin of a case. So the Flex series is something that I absolutely love. It's such a unique design, but I really like this. And even when you're gripping it, I feel like the combination of giving you that little material right there on the sides and the sides of the actual phone itself, I don't know, it just feels like perfect right in your hand. So here it is. This is going to be the Phone Rebel Flex. And of course, we had the perfect segue right into the Phone Rebel Gen 4. Now, the Phone Rebel Gen 4 got #1 case on my list this year because of the price point of these cases, what it offers. You're going to get very strong MagSafe magnets. Of course, it's going to pick these bases up just fine, just like that Flex series. But one thing that I love about Phone Rebel cases is going to be the interchangeable buttons, all right? You can swap these buttons out. They have different color buttons. You can get blue, purple, gold, silver. They got a new titanium color coming out. It's like a color shift. That's the stuff that I like about this case. And you get those strong magnets, and you get that Aramid fiber on the back that doesn't show that much wear. This is just like the Flex case, except you have your covered sides, if that leaves you with a little bit more security and protection and peace of mind when you're coming about these cases. So the Phone Rebel Gen 4 just has an absolutely amazing fit. You got a little, one thing if I have to change, and I said the same thing last year for the 13 version, if we could just tighten up around those buttons just a little bit, just tighten this area up just a tad, would just make this case literal perfection. Keeps the phone thin, doesn't add a lot of bulk, and I just love the styling of this case. When you're talking about the size, the extra corner protection, how it's raised a little bit, elevated on each corner so you get a good lay on that table protection. Look, the Phone Rebel Gen 4 is a reason this case was #1 on my list because it literally checks all of the boxes that I need in the case. And it's easily one of, if not the best Aramid fiber case that's out there on the market. Last but not least, you know we had to talk about it. And this is the case that's currently on my phone as we speak right now. I know you're like, but that was the #1 case. Why would this be up here? Look, I did a revisit of this case, the Mous Limitless 5.0. If you want to check it out, I'll be sure to pop it up above. I'm pretty sure I've already released it by now. But this case right here is one of the most highly anticipated cases for me when it comes to for the 14 Pro Max. You get that nice, soft touch on the inside. You're going to get those magnets. You're going to get that shock absorption material that goes all the way around it. And that I could appreciate. Slapping this on the phone, you're going to get that standard mouse protection that we all know. We all love. And if you haven't seen it advertised, Mous is going to give you some solid protection when it comes to their cases. You're going to get nice grip, all right? One thing that I always wanted to see improved on the Mous cases was going to be their grip. They gave us just that on the sides of this. So when you're using this case, I don't even think about Mous cases even being slippery anymore because the grip simply gets it done, and there's everything that I need when it comes to grip for a case. Buttons, all right? These buttons were a little bit disappointing to me at first when I first started reviewing them because they make a little bit of noise, kind of sound like a little mechanical typewriter when you're moving it, but you're not shaking your case. You're not frantically pressing your buttons like that. When you use your phone regular, just pressing a button as you just normally press a button, you don't have to worry about all those annoyances that I just spoke to you about. Everything is very good. So that's what I really like about this mouse. You get decent MagSafe strength. I kind of give it above average when it comes to the MagSafe strength. I mean, it tries to pick up this base, but it's not anything that's going to be groundbreaking, if you get what I'm saying. But the fit of the mouse case is just absolutely perfect. Honestly, the fit of all of these cases on this list is just spot on. I wouldn't change much about the fit of any of these cases. Very nice fit. Even though the buttons annoy me a little bit, they're very tactile, nice grip, and you get these for a decent price. You can catch sales that's going on their website. You can get deals that's going on Amazon. even though it is a little bit on the higher, they always have sales that's going on. So you can really snag one of these mouse cases for a very nice price. We're talking about layer on interior protection. You're going to get that when it comes to a little ski ramp. So it has a elevator protection on the top and on the bottom. So in combination, you set it down, you're good to go when you're talking about that lay on the table protection. So easily one of my favorite right here. This is currently on my phone as we speak as my daily case, and that's going to be the Mous Limitless 5.0. So bringing all of these bad boys in frames right here, we got the Mous, we got the Pitaka, we got the Pitaka MagEZ, we got the Benks, we got the Phone Rebel Gen 4, and we have the Phone Rebel Flex. Look, to be honest with you, you can't go wrong with any of these cases. Each and every one of these cases, if you have to have protection, outside of this one, you can go with it. But honestly, every one of these cases are absolutely solid. Most of these cases were on my top case video, so that's telling you one thing when it comes to these cases. So if you are an Aramid fiber lover, this is going to be some of the best options out there. If you go pick up one up, I don't think you'll be disappointed with any of these on this list.